and good morning to you. It's always a joy, it's always a pleasure to come your way. Thank you for allowing us into your space, whatever that space is. My name is Michael Mensah, and this is Farm Life, your regular family enrichment program, live here on City 97.3 FM, on our affiliate stations, and on the internet. What a joy, what a privilege for another bright Saturday morning. Today, as always, we have another intriguing conversation to have, and we trust that together we will learn. We've said it severally here that we have the mindset that we are all learners and that we are all WIPs. The WIP, it stands for work in progress, and it's not a lame excuse not to reach out for more, not to take feedback graciously, and not to be a better version or the best form of yourself. We do it because we intend to have good outcomes in all that we do. And before I go, let me give a belated shout out to this wonderful lady. So it's from the whole squad. So belated happy birthday and shout out to Auntie Barbara Lindsay of Bubbling Institute. Your squad, they say we wish you an amazing year in every way. And it's from your team, the learners, the parents, from William, and all the other wonderful children that you are taking care of and caring for and loving, and also from me, yes, me, Michael, because I've gotten to meet you here, a wonderful lady, and for all those who you have been mothering and grandmothering through the years. We say a big shout out to you. The 9th of July was your birthday, and we say may the Lord bless you, may He continue to increase you and grant you all the fullness of all that He has in store for you. Keep impacting many more. Keep affecting many more. We love and appreciate you greatly. Awesome. And a big shout out also to the Pastor Amani Ampon, and the squad, Jennifer and the rest of El Olam Church. I was with you some time ago. You're also wonderful. And big shout out to Reverend Sam and Lady Renee Entry and the squad and the team, doing awesomely well at ICGC Destiny Temple at Kashima. The Lord be with you and keep up shining, keep up doing the great work, and keep up influencing society for Christ. Now let's get to the serious part of the second part of the second part of the second part. Yes, so yesterday we laid to rest a very wonderful man who influenced many. He was in the person of Dr. Samuel Kwesi in cancer. He was a pharmacist, he was a business executive, and he was a consultant in many wonderful ways. So we extend our condolences and our heartfelt support to his wife, Deaconess Dr. Amma in cancer, and their son, Dr. Kofi in cancer. That may the Lord continue to sustain you. We send it to their extended families, the Dixons, the cancer family. That may the Lord be your support, your sustenance, and may He continue to carry you on. We thank God for everything and how it went well yesterday. We thank all those who traveled in from far and near to make it happen. We want to thank all those who have been there in all their various ways. The leadership of Harvest Chapel, from Reverend Fisher, the Uncle, Reverend Matislati, and their own Pastor Kwesi Dixon, who is connected, a family member, to all the rest, our deacons, elders, and what have you. Thank you for making it happen, and I want to say thank you for being there. For all those who came from far and near, it was a wonderful, solemn, but meaningful activity. And we thank God that it went on smoothly, and God gave us fair weather. We were able to carry it out. All right. So now, I mentioned that in this month of July, we'll be having what I call my take of looking at quick issues to help us to be better. Often we talk about being considerate, being reasonable, being compromising, being so many things. And so today I put together something I want you to think about. You can take your pen if you can, please. And when we get to load this on our YouTube channel, you can go and visit it so that you can do this little assignment. So here's my little assignment for you. I call it the 15 principles of a reasonable spouse. And I want you to score yourself on a scale of 1 to a scale of 5. The scale of 1 means that I do not do it. That's number 2. If it's 1, that's low. I do not do it. 2, I occasionally do it. 3, I sometimes do it. 4, I generally do it. And 5, I mostly do it. So 5 is the highest and 1 is the lowest. So when you score yourself, the lowest you can get is 15. That's if you get all ones. And then the highest you can get is 75. Now I'll tell you at the end of the day what what each stands for and how you can make it work. So let's go quickly, then we can get into the substance of our conversation for this morning. So the first one is under communication and conflict. And so I said 15 practical principles or ways of being a reasonable spouse. And to help all of us, we want to score ourselves. So to help us to know how well we are doing. So this is self-scoring. You can also ask your spouse to score you. And I encourage you that we'll do well to load this as early as we can. So you can go to YouTube and go by it so that you can score yourself if you don't get it all. So the first one is under the subtitle of communication and conflict. So 1, listen to understand, not to reply. So score yourself when I read what it means. When things get tense, focus entirely on absorbing your partner's perspective rather than building your legal defense in your head. So if you score 1, means that I focus on myself. I don't focus on listening to what my partner's perspective is. If you score 5, means that no, I listen to what my partner is telling me. So I listen to understand to reply. So that's a trajectory. I hope you get me now. So that's the same that will go for the rest. So I don't have to go back. So the first one is listen to understand, not to reply. Number 2 is de-escalate early. Recognize when a discussion is turning into a shouting match or a cold war. Be willing to say, I think we are both frustrated. Let's take 30 minutes or 20 minutes off to cool down and come back on this. How would you score yourself? The second point is de-escalate early. Number 3 is drop the ledger. A reasonable spouse doesn't keep a running scoreboard of past mistakes, historic slides, or even who did the dishes last night. You handle the issue at hand, resolve it, and then you get to move on and say, let's go on. How would you score yourself? And I drop the ledger. Then number 4 is speak the unspoken expectation. How are you? Are you the one who wants your spouse to read your mind? So if you don't, then you are 1. If you do, depending on the scale, you are from 2, 3, all the way to 5. So speak the unspoken expectation. Do not test your partner by making them guess your needs. If you need support, a break, or physical affection, state it clearly and calmly. All right, so now that's the first 4. Now let's go to number 5. Number 5 and a few others are under the subheading emotional intimacy and support. Number 5 is protect the safe harbor. Number 5, protect the safe harbor. Ensure when your spouse shares a vulnerability, a fear, or a perceived failure, your immediate response is empathy and validation, never a lecture or I told you so. How will you score yourself? Number 6 is assume positive intent. When your partner messes a detail, or falls short, default to believing it was an honest mistake rather than a malicious act or a sign that they don't care. That is number 6, assume positive intent. Number 7 is allow space for negative emotions. Understand that your spouse is allowed to have bad days, moments of anxiety, or low energy without it being an indictment of the marriage or something you immediately have to fix. So once again, what is your posture? That's number 7, allow space for negative emotion. Number 8 is celebrate individual growth. A reasonable partner accepts that people change over time. Support your spouse's new hobbies, career shifts, or personal evolutions, even if it changes the old routine. Even if it changes the whole routine. take note of the word, even if it changes the old routine. Now let's come to number 9, and that is under operations and daily life. Carry your weight equitably. Don't wait to be managed or asked. Proactively manage your share of the domestic, mental, and logistical load of running a home. So carry your weight equitably, or I'll say fairly. That's number 9 under operations and daily life. Number 10 is be transparent with resources. So how do you score on that? 1 to 5. Whether it's time, whether it's money or energy, keep agreements clear. Big financial or scheduled decisions are made together, or do you make them alone? Honoring the shared goals you build and then making it work. So number 10 is be transparent with your resources, which includes time, money, or energy. Somebody say talent, treasure, and time. Number 11, protect your perimeter against in-laws. Now this is a tricky one because it depends on what you mean and how you understand it. Maintain a united front while honoring family. A reasonable spouse ensures that extended family opinions or demands never override the boundaries of the nuclear relationship. So how would you score yourself? Number 12, self-regulation and mindset. That is a sub-theme. And then number 12, you are saying take responsibility for your own happiness. Do not treat your spouse as your sole entertainment coordinator or emotional regulator. Maintain your friendships, self-care, and personal grounding. How would you score? Number 13, accept influence. Be willing to change your mind. A reasonable spouse doesn't cling to being right just for the sake of pride or ego or whatever else it is. If your partner has a better point or a valid counter-argument, yield gracefully. How do you score yourself when it comes to accepting the influence of the other? Number 14, forgive the small stuff. And of course, sometimes the big ones, but we're starting from the everyday ones, they are the small ones. Let go of minor behavioral quirks or trivial behaviors that don't actually impact the safety, trust, or trajectory of the relationship. How do you fare? Do you take stock and not let go every little thing that comes up? Then the last one, then the 15th, is commit to repair. Understand that rupture is inevitable, but repair is mandatory. Never let a disagreement simmer into days of emotional withdrawal or stonewalling. Initiate bridge building process early. So if you score yourself, I said 1 for low, 5 for high, and then in between, I said, you say I do not do it, that's for 1. I occasionally do it, that's for 2. I sometimes do it, that's for 3. I generally do it, that's for 4, and I mostly do it, that's for 5. So if you score yourself on this 15, the highest you can get for the 15 ways or principles or elements is 15, and the highest you can get if you score 5 for all the 15 is 75. Now if you score between 15 to 30, that means that you are in a bad state. It's a serious thing you have to work on. If you score between 31 to 44, that means that it's a growth area. That's also something you need to do about it. If you score between 45 to 59, that means that it's moderate, it's fair, and keep on to even keep getting better. If you score between 60 to 75, that means that it's good, you are doing well, and I applaud this here to you. On which note, we can carry on. But we'll upload this on our YouTube channel, Farm Life with MM. Farm Life as one word, FAMLIFE, with WITH, and then the 2 letters M and M. Go there, like, subscribe, and let's do this together. You can go over this so you can get or score yourself honestly. Let your spouse also score you, and then you can compare your results. You can look at what I said the marks are and what it means. If you are scoring 15 to 30, that's low, and that means that it's a growth. I mean, it's something that needs serious attention. If you score between 31 to 44, that means that you have work to do. It's a growth area that must be attended to significantly. If you score between 45 to 59, that means that it's moderate and you're on course. So you can still be online and keep moving. If you score between 60 to 75, that means that it is not, you are in good state, you are good to go. But since we said the biggest room for improvement is the biggest room in the world is a room for improvement, you can keep getting better. So let's get to work, all of us, and let's have reasonable spouses. I hope you get me. And we will open the phone lines today, hopefully. But keep your messages, comments, queries, questions, contributions coming via WhatsApp on 0539 986 996. You can respond on these 5 principles or ways of being a reasonable spouse, or you can reach us on the topic that we are going to discuss today. Share on WhatsApp 0539 986 996. And today I have a wonderful trio, as always, to do this conversation. To my left is Mrs. Marie-Rose, who is a counselor, entrepreneur, wife, and mother. And then to the middle, right opposite me, is my champion, Sylvester and Marie-Rose, who is a counselor, he's a public health practitioner, and he's also a pharmacist. And yesterday the pharmacist, I've never seen anything like this before.
We broke the world record.
Hey, you broke the record. No, they were there in their numbers.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, you're about 100 or so.
We're more than 100.
Oh, more than 100. Hey, I've gone for funerals. I've never seen this before. Yeah. They were there.
It just tells you what kind of a person Mr. Dr. Nkansa was to us.
Amazing.
I mean, he was somebody who valued everybody he interacted with.
Okay.
Yeah, so... and of course, his wife.
Yes, the pharmacist.
Yes, and she has trained generations of pharmacists at Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
So it's love for the two of them that brought the numbers there.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. We're actually telling each other that it looked like our annual general meeting.
I tell you, and you know, a lot of people in your cloth.
Yeah.
And even those who were not all came.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So well done. So yes, Sylvester and Marie-Rose is a pharmacist, a public health practitioner, and a counselor. So I wears other very meaningful hats, which I hold to my chest. Welcome, Cecil. And
Thank you, Mickey.
The other champion on the block is Elder Amos Kevin, who is CEO of Hearts and Habits Foundation, and who we have here, and we are always blessed to have him because sometimes the schedule does not allow him to be here. So welcome, gentlemen and lady, and then I'll introduce a topic and we'll delve straight into it. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mickey.
All right. So if you listen attentively to what I was saying, there was a point I read something about the changes that occur. So today our topic is changes. We're looking at changes in the marriage and changes in the family. How do changes affect us? And what must we do? When I was studying planning my first degree, and big shout out to my 91-year group, Willie, Aqua, Samonoga, and the rest of the squad. We're taught our development, and we're told that development has 2 legs to it. It's growth in resources and change in the quality of life. And today we are looking at change as it is in a marriage and change in a family. I'll start with Elder Amos. Somebody has said that the only constant in life is change. Do you agree with that person? And how can change or would change, in your opening comment, affect a marriage and also by extension a family? What would you say, please?
Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here and to share some thoughts to our cherished patrons. I mean, the concept of change, as you mentioned in planning, also finds expression in many fields of discipline. And one of the things you would see is that there's a significant outlook which is different from what pre-existed. So once there is the noticeable shift, it could be positive, it could be negative. I know that Papa Sil is now fond of giving definitions, so I'll stay away from that. But one of the things that's crossed my mind when I saw the topic was the hymn, "Through All the Changing Scenes of Life." In trouble and in joy, the praises of my God shall still my heart and tongue employ. Now, the hymnist recognized that in life you can have trouble and you can have joy. So, in one breath, I had trouble, then trouble changed into joy. Because I like alliterations, I'll say trouble and tranquility. Now, in marriage, changes occur because the individuals who set off the journey, marital journey, they change. Change occurs. You add to your age, that's a change. Chronologically. Biologically, you will change. If you wish it away, then you'll be living in a certain paradise. That one I won't say it is not friendly for radio. You see, you were single. A lady or a gentleman has now come into your life. That's significant change. You used to sleep alone. Now you're sleeping in the company of another. I remember myself, rude awakening, first night, honeymoon. Evelyn tapped me and said, "Ato, sisi amedaha."
That's interesting.
Why? Because my legs were on her. So now I had to learn how to adjust. Because I wasn't used to that. Now, if you say, well, this is how I have always slept, then day one, you have dug a rat hole for the marriage. Many years ago, I listened to a message by Dr. Taba, and he made a very profound statement. He says, when change comes and you don't recognize change, it will change you against your will and you will change crying.
And you change crying.
Crying.
I get it.
You change, crying. Because once you're changing, you are crying. You don't like it. It will bring you to tears. And I know a lot of people who have refused to recognize that. I'm no longer a solitary solo person. Now we are a duet. And we are journeying together. So I can't move as fast as I used to. And I need to slow down. And if I was a slow walker, I have to now learn to pace up. So change is something, first and foremost, it has to be acknowledged. If you don't acknowledge that change has come, then forget it. When you extend it to the family bit, this was you and him or her in the marriage. You maybe planned or didn't plan, suddenly you have a child. You haven't been pregnant before. The women who get pregnant, they will tell you. Significant change. The nose changes.
The mood changes.
The mood changes.
The taste changes.
The taste
changes.
The food changes.
When once I was told to bring ice cubes, I said, for what? And
you go
a human being is chewing ice cubes in your presence. You go like, ice cubes.
My mother said she feels sometimes like it chewing, and she actually does chew the chili, the raw chili.
chili pepper.
Yes, because
Wow.
yes.
Abufron. Nauseous.
And that gave her respite.
That gave her relief. Yes.
Wow. Some will say, bring me a yellow.
Someone's on watching from a particular place.
A particular
place.
Then someone last stop. And you are leaving Kemakom to 11.
You have to come to say that.
Sometimes these things are not valid when the men do it.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah,
It's sometimes, sometimes. I mean,
oh, no. I mean, I know.
And it's as though it's nothing. But a man must strike from Tema to tell someone to buy that watch from that woman. No other watch. Will be testing if he goes and gets a replacement.
You know, my in-laws place at Comty 7, they sell some yellow corn kinky.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people from all kinds of places,
Okay.
they drive there. I met one guy, I said, but why are you here? So, Madam says I should buy some.
Achumi.
Madam says I should buy. That's what she has appetite for.
Yeah.
Hey, I said, hey, you drove that far? He said, what for do? You know, so change is indeed something which is constant.
Okay.
We're always changing. And if you don't, it's like you're driving and they change the route and you say, this is the route I always use.
So you stay there forever if they
It's going to be foolhardy for you to
Yeah.
just discover that you have acted recklessly.
Yeah.
And so every one of us must notice what changes are occurring in you, around you, and between you.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would say. It's in you, it's around you, and it's between you. Because once there's relationship, there's something that is going to go between you.
Yes.
Career change, time schedules change. Many things are changing.
Yeah.
You move into a different region of the world,
Yeah.
your watch changes.
Yeah.
Decide to stick with Ghana time.
Yeah. And then
Wala Obeti.
Yeah.
They will go against you. Nobody's going to stop.
Yeah.
Life is not going to stop for you simply because you are refusing to acknowledge there's change. And so this would be my preliminary comment that indeed I agree that there's a constant shift which is change. But the question is, do we notice the change? And if we do, what is our response to that, what we have noticed?
Awesome. Papa Sil, I'm coming to you next. So I'm just summarizing 3 key points among the many wonderful things Papa Amos has said. So the first is about adjustment, that you need to adjust. The second thing is about the fact that you have to recognize and notice the change. So that one actually precedes the adjustment, because if you don't recognize it, so you can live in your own silo and your own world when things are moving around you or changing or transforming. So the second one is adjustment, and the third one is that be aware of what is going on within you or in you, around you, and between you. Because if you don't, then you not navigate the processes appropriately. It's your turn now, sir, to take us on.
All right, thank you once again, Mickey, and good morning to everyone out
Today
there.
I'm very relaxed because I slept early yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yes, so you see, I'm very cool. Thank
you for the confession.
Some in cancer will call when I see already I'm tired. Some in cancer, oh, Charlie, I missed this man already. You get to him and say, tell him you should rest. Oh, Uncle Sam, we missed you already. But you're a wonderful man in every way.
Yeah, he made a world of difference.
Yes. It's an awesome man.
Great. Yeah, so let me start with these 2 quotations.
Hey, yes, and I forgot. Samuel was there yesterday too.
Yes.
But Samuel, you know, it's very close to both Amma and Sammy. Yes.
Right. Yes. So I'm starting with these 2 quotations. The first one from John Maxwell, which says that change is inevitable, growth is optional. Okay. And then the second one from Abraham Maslow, which says that in any given moment, we have 2 options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. So these 2...
Please go again.
Well, so Abraham Maslow says that in any given moment, we have 2 options: to step forward into growth or step back into safety. You know, as human beings, we are very safety conscious because we love to preserve ourselves or our lives. So there is always a tendency to look at what must I do to remain safe? Maslow is saying that, yes, there is the opportunity to step forward, which will most likely lead to growth, but of course, it's usually accompanied by risk. So stepping forward comes with a certain risk, stepping forward into the unknown, trying something new, getting into a new space that you've never been before. It comes with a certain risk. Or staying back where you are. Where you are is comfortable. You know your environment, you are very familiar with the settings, and you feel safe there. So when you step back into that space, you are okay with the safety. But what do you want? Do you want just the safety, or you want growth? So that's the whole concept Maslow was trying to push. Well, this time I didn't look for the definition of change, but I looked for the scientific basis for change. Okay. And it says that the scientific basis of change is rooted in the principle of thermodynamics, which states that change occurs when there is an energy difference between a system and its surroundings. To get from one state to another, a system uses kinetic and potential energy to alter its state, motion, or structure. So that difference, energy difference between a system and its surroundings, always brings a change, okay, or is a reflection, or kind of triggers the change. Now, so talking about ourselves, family, life, marriage, change is always going to be happening. In fact, the only place you don't want to see change, if you don't want to see change, is to probably just go and lie down in the cemetery. But even these days in the cemetery, there's a lot of change. The grave diggers don't allow people to sleep in peace. The gardeners are doing something new in the cemetery every now and then. So generally, life comes with a lot of change, and every day we experience change. Now, as Elder Amos was talking, I was thinking of the fact that indeed marriage is an interesting one, and the experience he shared made me laugh, but was also the reality, because if for a long time you've lived your own life all by yourself, and all of a sudden there's a new person in your space, that adaptation needs to happen quickly, and quite often we are not conscious of some of the adaptations until we are awoken to it, because for you, your bed has always been your free space. You can roll whichever direction you want, throw your legs whichever way you want. So you needed to be reminded that Odawonchan, so that then you're restrained or restricted in your movements. Now that also brings to mind the importance of shifting from a me way of thinking to a we way of thinking, because until you got married, it was all about you. You get up, take your decisions, go wherever you want, eat whatever you want, do whatever you want. Once you're married, the decisions are not going to revolve just around yourself. They're going to revolve around yourself and your partner, and when the children come in, yourself, your partner, the children. So that consciousness must always be there. Then you must be aware of the fact that change happens not just in that space, but also in the habits you have, the choices you make about money, your social circles, the people you engage with on a regular basis. Once you get married, you've got to make some changes to all of that. Your decisions about money, you were probably spending a lot on clothes because you like to look sharp and nice. You get married, you have a partner, you have 2 mouths to feed now. You both may be earning an income, but now you're on a new project because you're married, you're deciding on what do we do next? When do we get a house for ourselves? How do we plan for the children? How do we intend to educate the children? What kind of resources do we need? how must we work towards this? Often when I go for outdooring ceremonies, I tell the parents that these gifts that have been given to you today are not for your spending. They are also not for the party. Use it to open the first bank account for your child. You know, somehow we tried that, and it kind of worked for us, you know. So for everyone, we just started a little saving account or bought some shares or something for them. And over time that has grown. I mean, today my oldest daughter is almost 26 years. And I go back and I look at the investment we made 26 years ago, and it's substantial. I mean, every now and then we'll add something small to it, but then you see that you've put aside resources for them. So it helps to know that your decisions around your finances will change once you get married. Your decisions concerning your social circles, you love to hang out, stay out late because you are single, you live by yourself, you run your own business or whatever. When you get married, hanging out late may not be an option that frequently. Maybe it may be an option every now and then, but now you have a partner. The decision on how often you hang out, who you hang out with, and where you hang out will all matter to this other party, and you must recognize it and take it into consideration. You are blessed if your partner wants to hang out with you everywhere you go. That makes it easy. I mean, last week I read something about I think it was copied and pasted by someone, about a woman who wrote her lessons from watching the World Cup or watching football. And she said that she wasn't a typical football fan, but because her husband loved football, she decided to join him to watch football. And in watching football, she has picked some lessons for her marriage. I don't have it in front of me. Maybe I'll pick it up and read it later. But that was interesting because, yes, that was a change that had come into her life. Football was never her business, but she got married, and now soccer has become part of her life, and she's actually used it to her benefit. She's picked up lessons from it. So it tells us that you can either use the change very positively, or you can be very disgruntled about the change and just complain and nag and all of that, which both of which can occur. So you need to approach change with a very positive mindset. Make up your mind that whatever change must come into my life, I must turn it in a way that it will ultimately benefit myself, benefit my partner, benefit my family, benefit my circles or my social circles, etc. Maybe I'll come back later and talk about the kind of change you must not embrace.
Okay.
Yeah, for now, I'll pause here.
Awesome. So if I can try to mention a few of the wonderful things you've also topped up with. You spoke about John Maxwell, and John Maxwell is a leadership expert who's written, excuse me.
Sorry.
Who's written many books, and you say that she's saying that change is inevitable, but growth is optional. And often when doing trainings and stuff, I tell people that you can either have the fixed mindset or you can have the growth mindset. Now, because of our unique personality traits and person type and elements, some may come to us easily because you are a risk taker, you are adventurous, you are curious, you are inquisitive. That's a natural growth pattern for that person, because that person is always on the move. As to whether they actually learn their lessons when their head hits the walls and nothing. But if you are risk averse and you are introverted, you are very analytical, you are very inquiring, growth will come to you slowly because you want to be sure that it must be done. So the two, when they meet as husband and wife, will certainly have differences in managing the growth element. So you are saying that John Maxwell is saying that as for change it will happen. But what will make the difference is whether we choose to grow, and that is optional. So that's something that we all need to give attention to. And you spoke about Maslow. Now Maslow is the one who developed the first basic needs, and Anthony Robbins has taken on about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And now Maslow is saying that to step forward into growth, you have to what? Or you can step back into safety.
Yeah.
So when you are hit with at any point, like this woman, she can get upset and say, my husband doesn't make time for me.
Yeah.
He's always watching football. So for her to grow would be to watch the World Cup with him. Or not to grow and to feel safe would be to stay in her space.
Right.
And by so doing, when you combine Maxwell's own and Maslow's own, it means that then she should have been safe. But because she didn't choose the option of growth, her safety was preserved, but she didn't grow. So we grow in many little tiny bits every day, and then we grow sometimes in special ways. So this is part of what you said. At every given time, you are faced with two critical steps: to step forward into growth or to step back into safety. Which one are you choosing, and which one would you choose? That's for Maslow. And John Maxwell says that change is inevitable, but growth is optional. So today, two keywords you have to play around is growth against staying fixed or staying safe. And this safety is not about that. It's not about life and death. It's not about aggression or somebody being abusive. But
it's not about just staying in your comfort zone.
Yes, but it's moving out. So just for the awareness of that, somebody say, my husband is abusive. That's not safety. That's different. We're talking about going out of your comfort zone, doing what is not your conventional.
Yeah.
And they also spoke about the principle of thermodynamics, how it applies and affects something. It must be different from what is for it to come into motion. Yeah. And then he also spoke about the shift of thinking from the me to the us, and with cultivating that consciousness of us, so that then that new dynamic of the change will be effective. You know something very interesting, the shorthand for change is something that I learned many years and I've never forgotten. It's a triangle. The shorthand.
Delta.
Now shorthand hasn't happened anymore, but the shorthand is a symbol of a triangle.
You know, dx, dy, delta x, delta y.
See, you are the science people. Me, I'm not me. I'm an arts person. So it's crucial for us to know that, you know, it's a triangle. The tip is up. So you have to keep moving up.
Right.
You have to keep evolving. You can't stay the same. And then you also said that working together will cover all the areas. And so work together, whether it's on the social dynamic, whether it's on the finance dynamic, whether it's on the interaction dynamic. And interestingly, there are two wonderful things I want to end on account to Special Lady Marie. To write the short form of positive and negative. Positive is a plus V. And negative is a minus plus V. So you choose which one you want. Growth means that add, move forward, pause. Sometimes it's not moving, but it's pausing. Sometimes it means jumping. Sometimes it means sitting. Sometimes it means saying nothing. Sometimes it means getting involved. But whatever it is, the positive is plus V, and the negative is minus V. So let's have that approach of positive mindset as opposed to the negative mindset, which is taking away. The positive mindset is adding. On which note, Marie, I want to come to you, and good morning to you, my dear leader. You were also at the funeral. So I saw you yesterday. I was giving you a hug, and you said I shouldn't do that again. Not a hug.
Oh.
I'm not a hug, but when I was telling you the topic, you said, so forgive me. Yeah, my sister, I'm hugging you from afar. Marie, we go way back. I'm always wearing her. She's such a wonderful woman. But nice seeing you yesterday, and yes, and Gladys Brew and all the Saint Ogbami, and then Dr. Ogbami, Reverend Ogbami himself, and it was an amazing. I mean, people haven't seen I saw the three Ados, Charles Ado, William Ado, and Maxwell Ado. I saw them yesterday. I haven't seen them in a long while, so it's amazing. Uncle Sam brought many people together yesterday, including Rosemond from KNUST, and many people I've not seen. Kumfe, I saw Kumfe yesterday. Since we left campus, how many years ago? I haven't seen Kumfe till yesterday.
Right.
Marie, you said that there are two aspects of change. The developmental, which is more predictable, and the situational, which is unpredictable. How must we handle these two elements? The predictable, which is more regulated, which is more known, which is more observed, and the unpredictable, which is situational. You are driving and somebody hits your car and there's trouble. It's unplanned, it's unexpected. Or you do an investment and it goes south. It's unplanned, it's unexpected. Or like Dr. Hopkins say, somebody takes your phone. He say if you lose your phone and it got spoiled, the feeling of the anger is not the same as when somebody just snatches from you and you can't get it back. Though you've lost your phone in both cases, one is predictable and one is unpredictable. How can couples manage these elements of the predictability, that is the regular kind, and then the unpredictability, the situational kind, so the developmental kind versus the situational kind? Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to our listeners out there. It's always good to, come back to share little bits with you. Talking about change, the developmental, situational. All that I think about change is transformation. The word that keeps coming to me is transformation. Transformation. And another word which you say that I do things scientifically, metamorphosing or metamorphosis. Right. Change. Those are the two words coming to my mind. And transformation is what you are transforming. You are changing from one form to another. You're changing from one form to another. So, be it positive or negative, be it developmental or situational, something will they said something must give. Something will change you. A situation will change you. Sometimes you don't even know who you are, especially the situational changes. You don't even know that I can even do this until that thing happens to you, and then you find yourself behaving or responding in a way that makes you find out that, oh, is that me? Yeah. So things like that happens in marriages and in families. Okay. When you talk about metamorphosis, it is more predictable because metamorphosis in my biology I learned is changes that occur at levels. So even in human development, you see that we have different levels of development. You are born as a baby, you become a toddler, you become a preschooler, you become a schooler, an adolescent. You just move from one level to another, and it's the same. Everything starts, or humans or animals, they start as an egg or an ovum or whatever, and then gradually they turn into something happens to them, and there's always a causer. Something happens and then the change starts occurring. So it moves from one level to another and to another and to another until you mature or to get to adulthood. So when you talk about marriage or family settings, you are a single person, the predictable one. Now all of a sudden you become a married person. Your life, like you said, or Amos said it, your life is no more yours. You can't free again. The way you used to keep your bathroom or your toilet seat, you can't do it that way again because there's another person in the picture. And so you have to transform, you have to change, you have to move from one form to another, because in every situation when it comes to change, you are thinking about structure, you are thinking about roles, you are thinking about your values. So that's how the change occurs. So in the structure now, the structure is no more a single person living in the house. The structure is changed. There are two people. You have to be considerate of the other person. They say your freedom ends at the nose tip of another. So now you don't have all that freedom again. You have to sit down and always think about your spouse, be it your husband or your wife. You have to always be considerate about that person. You have to transform, change to adjust to the new situation, the new person that you are living with. You can predict it, and you can at the same time not be able to predict that situation, because you have development as you are growing. Now you're an adult, you've reached marriageable age, you fell in love with this person, you are so crazy about the person and all that, but then you have not lived together with the person. Then you move in. It's a development. It's part of life changes. What we say, changes occur in me as we grow. You have changed. You have moved from one level of life to another. That is predictable. You have planned it. You have intentionally gone into it. I chose you, and you chose me, and we decided we're going to live together. But the next to come is the one that is the unpredictable one. You didn't know that this guy snores like a motor car or caterpillar, a train or something. Now you go in there, and then the guy is snoring, or the woman is snoring so badly. Your partner sleeps with the mouth open. All these things. The person eats noisily. Those are situational things. How do you adjust? You are eating and you can hear somebody eating, making so much noise, and you are getting upset.
Yes.
How do you deal with it? How do you adapt to? Because there must be that adaptation.
Yes.
You adapt, and it is giving you that growth, because once you're able to adapt to it, like the lady, that soccer thing, which I also read yesterday, she managed to adapt to it, and not only adapt, but she applied it in a positive way in her life that helped her to be able to love it. That's the soccer thing.
Wonderful. And because you're a lady, so I want to ask you to go on it, show us, nuance it a bit for us. So there's something called the adaptation quotient. Some have it easy, some have it tough. So she does not like, let's just take that scenario and you go on. Soccer is the last thing she wants to engage. Her husband is head over heels and crazy about soccer. It has become as though she and soccer are competing for time and space. Now she decides that I'm intentionally, we use the word often here, intentionality. I am going to sit by him, even though I don't like soccer, whether I watch a soap opera or watch a soap movie or read a novel. Now she comes to sit by him, and the World Cup is in series. I mean, it's a whole month long something. What can or would or should be going on in her mind to be able to enjoy that thing, and not to feel resentful and feel done by and feel taken for granted? And you often hear people say, I've given my all, he never seems to, or she never seems to. What are the house for someone listening to us who finds himself or herself, because he are still in the World Cup season over, though now the matches are few and far in between. What must such person do? And so now it can be even not soccer, but it can be anything else. But what must somebody, a spouse, I mean, I want to talk to the ladies, and then I'll let the guys talk to the guys.
Okay.
What must a lady do in such a situation? Using the soccer World Cup issue as a fulcrum for this conversation.
Yes, to go on that trajectory, I'll say that for change to occur, you must, we always hear this saying, get out of the box. Get out of the box. Don't be closed up. Life is not just one style.
Yes.
Things can be done in different ways and get the same result. I always tell people, I once was in a training program, and our lecturer or facilitator then drew a circle and made a line through it. And he said we should explain. How would you explain that? A circle with a line through the circle. And nobody was able to say, and he said, if you can't go through it, is the line. You go round it, you get to the same position.
Okay.
If you can't go through, you go around it. You come to the same place. It's just that when you're going around, it might be a longer route or whatever. But still, you finally arrive at that destination. What is your mind in trying to adapt to that situation?
Okay.
Now you have found yourself in a new structure. You are trying to find your role in that structure. How do I do it? It's part of growth. It's part of the change that is occurring. So you go with an open mind. That's how you get out of the box. You go with an open mind. Be teachable. Don't to take out the resentment out of your heart.
Okay.
Now you've decided that you want, okay, let me watch and see. Then you have to be teachable because maybe you don't understand the game. So when you read that thing, that script that whoever wrote, it talks about foul, penalty, and all that, what they all meant, and how she applied them to marriage.
Okay.
So if you ask me, I watch football sometimes, but I can't tell you penalty. I used to be a very good footballer but I was doing gutter together with my brothers.
Okay.
Yes, I can shoot goals.
Okay.
But I don't really understand the details of football.
Okay.
I didn't teach myself on those things. So if I watch a football game or soccer, you want to understand and appreciate it. That's the point. That's why you have to be teachable. So you are not just going to sit there just because you want your partner to know that you are sitting there. But you are sitting there to learn. When you have that kind of focus, it helps you take out because you're going to learn. When you go to school and you're going to learn, no matter how much you hate mathematics, you have to do it. So you take it out of mind. I hate it. I have to understand it. So you seek understanding. So you seek understanding from whoever that you are watching with, for you to be able to, so this is what, when you are enlightened, it gives you more love.
Okay.
When you understand, that's why it goes even into our communication. When you communicate, you tell people what they have to know. It gives them more light, illumination. You get that illumination, you get understanding, and it makes you flow with people the way you have to flow, because now you understand. You know why I'm doing it.
Okay.
But if you don't understand, then it's like you are left in the darkness. And when you're in the dark, you don't see anything. You don't understand. And so you can be frustrated in darkness. I mean, when there's light off, you see how everybody, go, oh, because you're frustrated. As soon as the light comes, yay! Yeah. Because there's light. Okay. It gives you ability to see. And in life, everybody wants to be able to see and understand. Many fights in marriages is because they don't get it. They don't understand what is going on.
Please hold your thought. Thank you for sticking and staying. This is a quickie. We are back. Marie was on the floor and she was explaining how we can build and acquire the appropriate adaptability quotient to be able to not just be present, but to maximize our presence so that we reframe it in a way that benefits us. And she was talking about, her last point was about knowledge. So let me give you a very simple, interesting thing that happened to me. So now I get to a certain place and I'm closing the door and the door is not closing. So that night I couldn't use the car. Because I get home, I'm closing I'm closing the car door and it's not closing. So I can't use the car. And the next morning. So go by Uber the next, and then the evening I try and get home a bit early and then call the auto that come. He can say, so it's a problem with the lock. So he does it. Then he says, it was fine, but eventually I have to change the lock. I said, okay. Then I go to town, Accra Central, to buy some stuff. Then I come back to the car, then I'm closing the door and the door won't close. In Accra, how am I going to call him? Who am I going to call? So I have to cut. Thankfully I don't play with two kids. So I have scissors. So I take a scissors, condemn one of my dusters to tie by the side of the door to another door so I can drive.
So what, this is your driver's side?
The driver's side door.
Oh my goodness.
And in a rainy season. So I do that and then when they car home. Then I call him. So I get home late. Then I call and say, please, can you come? So he comes, he says, I'll come. So he says, I'll take a motor and come. So he takes a motor, Okada, and comes. Then I say, let me see what you do this time. But I'm a bit of a technical person. It's a simple thing. He just has to adjust it, then pull the, the handle, and then the lock will reset. Yeah. That's all he came to do. So when it happened the next time before the change, I did that. But look at knowledge. Yeah. It didn't take him more than a minute to fix the thing. But because I didn't know how. Yeah. Because I didn't know how. I had to tie, otherwise I couldn't move the car. Exactly. I had to leave the car because if not, then I can't, you get me? Yes. So it shows us that knowledge is key. Yeah, absolutely. And growth can only happen when you have the knowledge. Yeah. And since Marie mentioned that I want to support her, then she'll come back on it. So when you are going to do something that is not evil, it's not wrong, but it's helpful for your spouse, go with an open mind that you learn something. Not necessarily because you may enjoy the game, because maybe not something you like, but you may enjoy it in your own way, picking lessons, making observations, saying things that you never would have seen. And so that is what I want to add to the wonderful thing Maria has said so far. Maria, please take us away.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I was saying, when you don't get it, then he's completed it for me. When you don't get it, it's like, why should I do it? You don't understand. But once you understand and you do it, a change occurs in you. Your situation changes because now you have more light. So when you are doing it, you are doing it with understanding. You know that, oh, it's football time. Okay, we are watching. Because you know, now I understand what's happening. And you understand all the moves. You understand why the numbers are. So you understand when they give the cards and all that kind of thing. So it helps you. You'll be surprised. It can become a new love. Depending on how you appreciate the game when they teach you. Sometimes you get elimination, but still you would have your own resentment because we have choices in life. Exactly. Yes. So that's the reason why some people would like to paint and somebody would like to listen to music. Right. Somebody would like to write. They are prolific writers. They get a pen and a book and they are just going, writing. People have their own interests. So you can't also force certain things. If it's not happening that way, yes, you still can come out to appreciate the other person that, oh, yeah, this is your... I used to, like I told you, I used to play football with my brothers a lot, and I should have been a football. But no, World Cup, I haven't even watched one. Because for me, the emotions behind it doesn't work for me. Right. So I sleep. I have not just because Ghana, I have not watched any of the games because of the emotional connection and all that. So I think that it's not really my thing. Yeah. So I choose it, and I don't resent my partner for watching it or any other person for watching it. Sometimes my son is even more than my husband. My son loves football, and every now and again he's asking, oh, this, oh, that. And at a point, I took interest so that I can give him, especially when he was in boarding school, so that I could give him updates on football, what was going on and all that. You understand? Yeah. Why would I change for my son? It's part of the family. Yeah. Right. I want to make him happy. Yeah. I want him to feel that whatever he's interested in, I support it. It's not a bad thing. It's a healthy thing. It's a healthy one. If it was a bad thing, I wouldn't support it. But this is a positive thing. That is something that he could develop, maybe in his future life as a football, whatever. Yes. So I was supporting him. And I have to do the same. Sometimes it is easier for us to support our children. But when it comes to our spouses, it becomes annoying.
Why so? Please take us there, pa. You have bought it, so please take us there, pa. Why so?
It basically, you have nurtured these children as babies all the way. So you have always have the heart. You've had the heart of a mother. There's a child. Also, I remember my younger brother after me when he was young. I laugh at him. He would always say when he does something bad and he gets a scolding or something, then he would say, "Oh, don't you know I'm a child?" Because my mom and dad were always that protective of him. They would say, "Oh, Wanjan, Oya Fraba, oh Wanjan, Oya Fraba," you know. So he's a child, but you're growing. So when he gets a scolding from the elder ones. Then, oh,
cool disclaimer, right?
You know, yeah. I'm a child. I'm not that wise, you know. But then you grow. Yeah. So sometimes parents forget that their children grow and will use that kind of attitude towards them even when they grow. But you see, you marry your partner, he's a man. He's a woman that you have married. And you expect, yes. Right. So expectations sometimes bring us to that point where it's like, Penimo to say, well, you can't. And you hear people, Penimo to say, well, you can't do that. Because they saw you as an adult. They didn't see you as a baby.
Yes.
They didn't see you as a child.
Yes, but being then an adult, is it not the case then that sometimes we are concluding from our perspective? Yes. Because the fact that you know how to do something is not necessarily automatic for everybody else to know. And that's why at the beginning I gave the 15 ways of reasonability. Because the fact that you are reasonable does not mean reasonable. You score high on the trajectory. Does not mean that somebody else may score high. And so it's an assumption you are making, which needs to be supported with the necessary nuances. What do you think?
That's exactly why I said the first part. I said come out of the box.
Okay.
It means always when you are dealing with somebody,
Yes.
have a clean mind about the person.
Okay.
Or plain. Don't draw in it before you start looking at the person.
Okay.
You have to have a clean page, and then you start assessing the person on it.
Okay.
Give everybody that level ground to move up. But don't already, so prejudice, that's what the word prejudice is there.
Yeah.
You are prejudiced already. You've made up your mind. And you don't know what has happened. Instead of, oh, what may have happened? Blah. And when the person comes, oh, so what happened? How come he didn't come early? To listen to the version of the person.
Yeah.
But because you've made up your mind, every time he comes 5, today he's coming at 7. You are already prejudiced. You've colored the page already. So no matter what he brings, and some
Yes.
of the coloring is
Yes.
difficult to take off the page.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the person will explain himself or herself to whatever level, and you will not trust the
take
person, or
it.
you not take it.
Yeah.
So we should temper justice with mercy. Sometimes we are too judgmental of our partners, but give them the chance. Give them the room for them to hop. They said there's room for the grasshopper to hop.
Okay.
Give them the room to hop until you have, for every research or scientific whatever research.
Yes.
They always don't do it. It's not just one time.
Yeah,
They
it's
have to
over
do it
time.
over and over and over
Yeah.
to be able to come with a conclusion
Yeah.
that this thing occurs
Yeah.
at this. So for us to be able to make any assumptions a reality or true, we might have observed the thing over and over a period of time with a number of people and all that to be able to be conclusive of that thing. So we should have that same heart when we are dealing with our families, with our spouses. When they do one thing there, but I know them, I know him, he will do.
Yeah.
You can't. There's the unpredictable.
statement.
Yes,
That's
you.
different.
I know him
I
doing
know
well.
He won't
I
change.
know him. He
Yes.
won't change.
Right.
You don't give them the chance to. You don't give them
Yeah.
the room. I know him. I hear that a lot from my counselors.
Counseling.
Yeah.
I know him. Oh, Auntie Mary, I know him. He won't change. Oh, I know her. She's like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of is a stopper to the
Yes.
person's development.
It
It's a
is.
stopper to the person's change. You want to see change. They said that when we want to see change, we have to say the things that we want to see.
Exactly.
Affirmation. So
Okay.
if you want to see your partner doing a certain thing, say those words. Don't say, I will never believe you. Don't say, you will never do it. No, let's learn how to. Even we are not perfect. I mean, it might slip out of your mouth because of our acculturation or our socialization.
Yes.
So sometimes we say these things carelessly without even knowing.
Okay.
So it's become part of you. But learn how to affirm the positives in what you want to see. Oh, as for you, I trust you. I know the ones you said there's no you can. Or even if you can't
Or
do it, you
if you see,
call me
I always
and
tell
let me
people
know.
that,
Yeah.
often I always tell people that don't lie.
Yes.
So, but be truthful. So in your truthfulness, if you don't trust him, don't necessarily say I trust you when you don't, but say, oh, I know you can work on it.
Yes.
So
But
look,
don't tell him
I don't trust
I
you.
don't
That's
trust
my
you.
point.
That's
so,
the point.
So
Yes.
so make a positive statement
Yeah.
that is true, but that does not also go against what you know not to be true.
Yes.
I don't get me. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
always what
Yeah.
you call positive reinforcement
Affirmation.
and negative reinforcement. I say this when I'm doing training, and these days I'm beginning training. So bring it on. Let's train your staff and your team, and you'll be amazed at what can come up.
So
in one of the recent ones I had, I was telling them about the Solomon Islands. So as I spoke, one of the guys in the training just Googled and said, yes, it's true.
Right.
The Solomon Islands, when there's a very big tree that they can't cut, tradition has it that the community goes to the tree and says bad words and curses the tree. Within a space of a month or something, the tree dies and they push it up. You can Google and see. If you are listening to us, you can Google the Solomon Islands and about the cursing or the bad words of the tree. So if you are doing that to your spouse, you're not good for nothing.
Yeah,
You're not earning enough. You are not showing up. You're not man enough. You are not a wife. You are not cooking. You are reinforcing that negative tendencies always.
Yeah.
And
And
you
wo-
get
and
these
words
prayers
have
down,
power.
shaking together
Words
and running
have-
over. Please, yes, carry on.
And
then I'll bring
even
some
if
of
you
the
don't speak out those
Yes.
words, sometimes even what you are, because the Bible says something that out of the abundance of the heart,
Yes.
the mouth speaks.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you are not speaking it, but you are so full of it that
Yes.
it shows in your action.
shows.
guys. Okay.
And it comes out in another way, because
Yes.
we all know that communication is not only verbal,
Yes.
but it's non-verbal as well.
Yes.
So your heart is filled with hatred. Your heart is filled with how do you call it, resentment for your partner so much that you are not saying it, but everything in you shows that the person doesn't want you close to him. Don't touch my thing. You are not saying anything bad, but what is filling your heart is giving off wrong or negative energies, and the person will feel it. So let us try as much as possible, no matter how bad your situation is. It's not easy, but it is doable. Give people chance over and over again until the person has really exhausted. Give them chance, and there's something good in you, and that is what I want to see come out of you. I'm giving you this chance. Like I said, there's more room for the grasshopper to hop. They keep hopping and they never get tired. Give them opportunity. It might be painful enduring it. I understand. I know. But give them the chance. We give our children, like I said, we give our children chance over and over again. Let's find out where we need that change and try and maximize our effort to make sure the change occurs. And usually we all want positive change. It's positive change that brings the growth. Sometimes it might be a negative situation, but the negative situation can bring you a positive result. So you have to look at all these things and know what's going on and make the choices, better choices. And of course, all these help us, because when you are calm in yourself about things, it's healthy for you. But if you keep all this resentment and negative thoughts and all that, it also, like you're saying, even the tree, they're telling the tree, it is inside you. Now this is inside you, so it destroys you internally. It kills you. You people. I can't say 100% because I have to do a whole research on that. But I see that people who put in a lot of pain and hurt in their hearts, they end up getting some sicknesses.
There's evidence. There's a lot of evidence to support
so
cancer, high blood pressure.
So it's very
everything.
important that we free ourselves. Let go. The acrimony will not help us. Let's build healthy homes for our own sanity, for the benefit of the society. And
Can I make a quick
do something mischievous.
Can I make a quick statement?
Yes.
What do you have?
Where from this?
That's
They use it for the
Friday
sports.
program. So we are giving you a bell clanging sound. Not to me. I say I'm 5% naughty. I say I'm 5% naughty. That adds fun to learn also.
Papa Amos wants to say something.
Yes, so I must say. Then I'm going to come to you.
No.
Yes.
I mean, as they were speaking, I was just trying to process something. Is our change coming from conviction or commitment? Is the change coming because there's chaos? Is the change coming because you have crisis? Is the change coming because it's convenient for you? Is your change born out of compromise? Or is your change born out of consideration? Because change as a factor in a relationship, like she mentioned, would have something precipitating it. What is it that is triggering it? What is bringing it to the fore? Now you notice that the things that I've mentioned, each of them has a different management approach. If it's change born out of conviction, it's usually incentivized by yourself. You don't need inducement. You don't need coercion. You don't need anybody to plead with you. You don't need anybody to beg you. If it's change born out of commitment to, is the same. Now, whereas if it is change born out of a crisis, then you have to upscale certain interventions.
Exactly.
Because change born out of a crisis is not the same as change born out of conviction. And if it's change born out of compromise, which kind of compromise? A healthy compromise or an unhealthy compromise? You know, so like you talked about consideration, Mickey. Somebody says, I've considered you, so I've changed. Do they own the change?
Oh, it's under duress.
It's under duress. That's change born out of coercion. So as they were speaking, I was just thinking through these lines, because let's ask the people out there, you need to identify the nature and form of the change you're talking about.
But we must just go over that list again.
Positive change.
Yeah,
So
change born out of conviction or commitment, change born out of chaos, change born out of crisis,
Right.
change born out of convenience, change born out of compromise,
Right.
change born out of consideration, and then just now, coercion. The coercive powers of state, for instance, if they come upon you, you have to change by force.
Yeah, it's serious. And please go by it again, because people are listening and want you to settle in.
I mean, as they were talking, I was just writing.
Yes.
So the first one is conviction or commitment. The two are together because they seem to have the same nature and form. Change born out of chaos. Change born out of crisis. Change born out of convenience. Change born out of compromise. Change born out of consideration. And lastly, change born out of coercion. You were coerced to change. You know, and the coercive changes are the ones that they change when they are with you, but when they are away from you,
they do
the change
else.
doesn't live long.
Yes.
They change again.
Again, I mean, another form of change.
But some of the coercive changes, depending, can also
Some can be
stay with
helpful.
you. Yes.
Yes.
Because like when
Over time.
when we're in school,
Yeah.
you are coerced to do certain things. You have to get
You go
up
to
early
bed
to
at
lay
a
your
certain
bed.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes
It's
it becomes a habit.
compliance.
Yes,
Yeah.
compliance.
Compliance.
Yes.
But you
So-
see, when people move out of the state where there are no such regulations, what do?
Then you test it.
They
That's
now
when you
have
test
to, they default into their original
So
state.
it depends on how
How
the
it was
transformation happened, whether
Exactly.
They own
that-
it.
Exactly, whether it translated into transformation,
Exactly.
Exactly.
or
Or
it had
just
a spring back effect. You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, sorry, you
Go ahead.
know, Marie mentioned about research and its effect on people.
yeah.
Gottman did serious research
Yeah.
and came out with what he calls the 4 horsemen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is about criticism, which is about
Contempt.
which is about defensiveness and stonewalling. Now, these are very crucial things that show up in any marriage when the marriage is under stress. Now, often they start as little nothings and then they become big somethings. And so, why we are having this conversation on the changes is so that we will begin to note what you said earlier, what Amos said about what is happening in between, in you, what's happening around you, and what's happening between you. And so, once we're able to harness these elements for good rather than for evil, then we are able to turn it around. Where there's a little thing that your partner says, no, it's okay, it's nothing, and they're using the avoidant posture, I'm recommending strongly today that seek help there. Don't wait for it to escalate, because you see, more hills become mountains. And then now we need bulldozers.
Yeah.
When we actually would have needed just a little,
Shovel.
more hammer
Shovel.
or shovel to just straight up the sun. So seek help early. If one party says it's nothing, don't treat that way. They say nothing at church and at a gathering. Somebody that you all go to that person's house, when you meet them, say, so this is what is happening. What do you think? And let them help you at that little element, because it's a change, and it may ripple into more nuanced conversations and occurrences that you may not handle. So that's what I would say on that.
Sometimes I mean, if you look at Thomas Kilmann's conflict response theories,
Yes,
those
Kilmann,
5,
yes.
yeah, I think people should read that. You know, there are people who are conflict averse.
Yes, people are.
Yeah, they're averse to conflict, and the day conflict really comes, it gets nasty.
Because then
They have always built this aversion.
Yes.
You know, they are avoiding conflict. I remember Tish would often talk about
Validate
let's train
something,
people to manage conflict
yeah.
rather than avoiding
Avoid it.
conflict.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why I'm encouraging people to start getting help early, because there are people, and why we spend time often from time to time doing this issue of personality traits and person type traits is because people flow where they are comfortable.
Yeah.
And so if somebody is naturally not an engager, So we say there are people who face, some will fume, some will freeze, some will fight, some will face. Facing is the right one, but some don't do it. And so you need to use appropriate processes. That's what I'm saying, that get help early. Because often those who are risk adverse are often also introverted and will not come out. So if you count on only their acceptance, you will never get the help early till it escalates. So I'm saying that when it's a little nothing that should not offend him or her so much for you going to a third party, do it early. Because from 1 to 2, I've written here 10 domains I want us to look at briefly. To 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Before you are aware, that molehill has become a mountain. So I'm saying get help early, often from a third party, because the person doesn't open up. The person does not face. The person will rather freeze or rather implode in. And that is not helpful.
Yeah. Can I add one thing?
That's what I would say.
Mickey, please, can I?
Yes, please. Quickly, then we can go on.
It's a quick one. Just to, this one is a plea or admonition that we should live our life daily, day by day. Many times you're talking about molehills becoming mountains.
Yes.
It's because we don't let go of yesterday.
Yes.
So we build on it. There's some things that you have to let go. The day is gone. Give another day. Even God gives us every day is new for us, fresh day.
Fresh opportunity.
So let's try and not carry old things, especially things that are negative, that it doesn't help us. Carry it on to the next day. They are not builders. They are destroyers. And nobody wants to be destroying things. So you don't need things that destroys, that you build on every day. Every day you take that thing from yesterday and come and add it today and then move it on, and then it becomes something difficult to handle. So let's try and live day by day as we do and we get our results. We apply all the wisdom that we need. You need a lot of wisdom in some of these things to be able to live life. You understand?
Awesome.
And live it in a healthy way.
Awesome. Papa, I want to come to you. I'll put 3 together, then you speak on it. So I put together this, what I call the 10 domains of marriage as far as these changes are concerned. So the first is on the relational framework for stability and marital satisfaction. So we are looking at communication openness, part of what I read in the beginning. And the second thing is ability to share thoughts, needs, vulnerabilities safely and clearly without fear or rejection. Without fear or rejection. Sometimes the person is so avoidant, the person is so nonchalant that even though you are speaking and sharing, they're not interested. Their body language, like Marie said, the nonverbal cues show that they're not interested. So the first is relational frameworks for stability and marital satisfaction. Then the second one is what you call conflict resolution, which is what we are talking on. How differences are handled, whether we have the win-win posture, or we have the compromise posture, or we have the criticism posture, or we have the emotional disconnect and withdrawal posture. So that's the second one, conflict resolution. And the third one is financial management and shared goals. So I'm putting these 3 together for you to address. Then we can go on to the other 7. Yes. So the first is relational frameworks for stability and marital satisfaction. The second one is conflict resolution. The third one is financial management and shared goals.
Okay. This will take me to 9:30.
So do it quickly. I mean, we are doing a service
to 9:30. All right. So, yeah, thanks, Nikki.
Yes.
So let me start with this. Earlier on I said that there's a bit that I was going to say about the change that is not good for you.
Okay. Yes.
So
start from there. Yes. Okay.
So the first one is any change that causes you chronic stress, and that would lead to burnout, any change that will remove your feeling of safety, any change that's too much change at once. Sometimes the things are changing it's like a chain reaction. It's a lot of change at the same time, that may not be good for you. Then when you lack control, so there's a change happening in your life that makes you totally helpless. You've lost control over the whole situation. That's a change that's not good for you. Then when it disrupts your health, so it's either ruining your sleep. You're not able to sleep again because the change is so drastic. You got into an environment. The environment is very unhealthy for you in many ways. The people are aggressive towards you. They're abusive. They're disrespectful. That's change that is disrupting your health. That's not good for you. Then any change that will make you leave a healthy situation. So, we say exercise is good, but if all of a sudden you have to be in the gym for 5 hours, 6 hours lifting weights, that suddenly becomes a threat to your health and to your well-being. So even though it's intended for good, all of a sudden it's become dangerous to you. So it's important to identify those as things that you must avoid.
Awesome.
So relational framework for stability. We must look at what must keep us together, have a mutual understanding. Recently I was speaking to a couple and I told them that a lot of times we work on assumptions. When Marie spoke, something came to mind. When we first got married, my wife used to say to me that you are not leading. And I used to say to myself, I know I've always been a leader, so why are you thinking I'm not a leader? Then I went back, counted all my accolades, and I thought I was a very good leader. Then so one day we had the conversation about her expectations when it comes to leading. Because here was I thinking that as far as leadership is concerned, I ticked all the boxes, Her expectations were, to me, they looked trivial at the time, but really that was what she was expecting, that I would take initiative. And that was, to me, that was like, oh, why? I mean, this is not a big deal. I wanted her to feel free. So here was I leading from the angle of laissez-faire. Just enjoy your space, do what you want, that kind of thing. She wanted me to be the one saying, do this, do that, let's do that kind of thing. So it's important to talk through the things and deal with the expectations. Lay your cards down on the table. Have a frank, open conversation about whatever you want as far as the relationship is concerned and how the relationship is going to grow, so that there is no frustration or misinterpretation of what the expectations are. Then your building blocks must be solid. There are a lot of people who focus on the frivolities in the relationship. So before they get married, they are just focusing on the fun times. We're eating out here, we're going out for a movie, we're going out and we're traveling to different places, etc., etc. Those are the fine things that are not necessarily the strong building blocks of the relationship. So it's important to look at what we want our relationship to be like. What kind of home do we want to build? What kind of conversation do we want to have on a regular basis? What is my love language, as we usually say? Because the two parties may have different ways they express love. Somebody wants to be touched, someone wants to be hugged, someone just wants to hear you say sweet nothings, So that communication must happen for you to appreciate what your partner likes. Again, I remember in the very early days, I thought I was being very romantic. I bought my wife different kinds of chocolates, and for so many days she didn't touch the chocolates, and I was very disappointed. I was like, you are not eating the chocolates. And it took her so long. My wife takes a long time to give you feedback. So one day she goes like, well, there's just one particular chocolate I like. If you get that for me, I'm fine. All these other flavors don't mean anything to me. They give me sore throat.
They are like trees.
And I was like, so why didn't you say the very first day? So the communication is so important.
Are complex,
so that you don't make, you work on different assumptions, because I'm a lover of variety. So I use my judgment to select the variety for her. She's the exact opposite.
She wants a schedule, the regularity, the
so it's we need to understand the expectations of our partners, so that we work alongside. The two of you are not the same, and you cannot change your partner to be like you.
Exactly.
If you have that understanding, a lot of things will be different. Accept the person for who he or she is, because you chose that person. You knew that you were different. I mean, if I take myself and my spouse, height-wise, we are different. Maybe body weights, even body weight, we are not the same. And a lot of times I watch couples, if you have a plump husband, you're very likely to find a plump wife. And you see their children, and they are all very nicely plump. So you find a slim family, it's a lot of slim machos. Maybe you find one exception who eats the food of all the others who are not. No, and I mean no offense here. But just understand the flow, understand what makes people happy, and have an agreement on how to work along those lines. Conflict resolution.
You have 1 minute.
Okay, I told you it's supposed to give me up to 9:30.
No.
Conflict resolution. Understand the things that bring about conflict in your relationship. And a lot of times, most of the time, it's personality clashes. The way I think, the way you think, the things you like, the things I like, the way I express myself, and the way you express yourself. You were raised with in a certain background where your voice is raised, and you are not even aware that your voice is raised. So, typically in my home, when we're having a conversation and somebody's voice is raised, the children quickly say, "Why are you shouting?" So, and the current generation is very much like them. They won't hold it back. Our generation, we didn't have the courage to ask our parents, "Why are you shouting?" You pack out of the house. Yeah, exactly. So work at how to deal with the differences. Conflicts will always arise. Any relationship that has no conflict is totally artificial. It shouldn't even exist. If you have a partner you don't have conflict with, don't marry that person. It may sound controversial, but that's true, because the person is hiding something, and the day you get married, the real person will appear. So the conflict must come up, and you must begin to work your way through how to resolve them, talk through them. Where the thing is not resolvable, find a third party to help you, and somebody you both trust. Financial management. I don't know what you want me to talk about when it comes to financial management.
When one is a spender, one is a saver, one is an investor, one is a risk taker.
Wow.
What must they do? If they are not able to find commonality, must they seek third party help to help them along? Because sometimes the difference is so stark and sharp.
Yeah, that's so important. So the first thing is that you must respect the strengths of your partner. If there are two of you and one of you likes shopping every day, you go to the mall any day, anytime. The other one loves to manage the resources. The one who is good at managing financial resources must be trusted with the bulk of the family's resources, and the conversation again must be had. Agree on how you are going to spend your money. How much money goes into housekeeping, how much money goes into clothing, how much money must be put away for the rainy day, how much money must be invested for children's education, etc. Because again, education is not cheap these days, so you need to work towards it. There was a guy I was talking to, I told him that, look, because I have many children, I put money away every month towards education. I don't assume that school fees day will come and I'm going to look around all over the place trying to. So, and I was sharing this with him because I was like, you have half the number of children I have. And every time you are struggling when it's time to pay school fees will come.
Whether I like it or not.
Whether I like it or not. If you are living in a rented house, rent payment time will come. So save towards it, so that when the time comes, you are able to meet those requirements. Of course, things do change. Circumstances, something bad may happen. Your regular income flow may get disrupted for one reason or the other. So yes, those ones are understandable.
And let me add that also those whose income is already basically low, and so it's
exactly.
not enough to
so when your income
serious.
is unusually low, you need to begin to think out options, additional channels of making a healthy income, multiple streams of income. And these days there are many opportunities. Who did we have on the program the other day? Our good friend from EcoBank, Paul. Paul has a book on how to create multiple streams of income. Find Paul's book. Paul, I'm giving you free adverts today. Find Paul's book. I mean, when I went through that book, it gave very simple, practical things you can do to make extra income. So manage the family's income. One person should not go on a shopping spree with it. One person should not take it for a big vacation and come back and everybody is broke. And then we're like, okay, let's start all over again.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Let me take the message on the console. So Uncle Ben says, changes will never cease because that is the indicator that reflects one's level of maturity, growth, development, and God's consciousness. We need to be vigilant and focused on our relationships to enable us quickly identify the changes when they raise their heads. Character formation takes time, but when it is seen early enough, it can contain or it can be contained or managed or change for positive results. Thank you very much, Uncle Ben, for sharing. Please keep your comments, queries, questions coming, and also open the phone lines. We're going to open the phone lines for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be done wrapping down. Let's hear from you. 0539-986-996. Again, 0539-986-996. I'll be coming to Amos as we are wrapping up. So I'm going to lump all the other 7 together. So the 4th is sexual and physical intimacy. The 5th is emotional support and intimacy. The 6th is spiritual connection and value alignment. The 7th is leisure, quality time, and shared interests. The 8th is family, parenting, and in-law dynamics. The 9th is navigating co-parenting styles and maintaining healthy boundaries and with external and other networks, family networks. The 9th is role responsibilities and equity. And then the 10th is what we always said a lot about, adaptability and personal growth. So those are, in a nutshell, the 10 domains I put down to add to all the wonderful things that you get upset. The Bible, in a minute or two, because today we have some little shout outs and information to give. So I'm forcing so we can manage that in. Yes. So yes, please, on all the 7 I've said, take it from any angle. What will you add to all the wonderful things that have been said by Osofo Sale and by Marie so far? Yes.
Well, I'll start off with third-party help.
Okay.
I know that's something that people are quick to look for. But let me raise a caution. Many a time I discover that the spouses have not agreed on the decision to get third-party help, and it creates even more problems. So before you go out to go and seek for third-party help, make sure you discuss that you need a third party.
Can I ask a question on
where
that?
it is that you still don't have that consensus, because for the marriage is a consensus building endeavor. It cannot be one person's wish that must always be carried out. It is creating more care, especially for males. Many of them are becoming hesitant. They will sit there, but they are reluctant participants. And it is worse to get a man to sit in a marital conversation and he's a reluctant participant.
Okay,
because when he moves out, he takes it to his wife.
Can I come in quickly on that? Why I was recommending that for the molehill is because, you see, you are a counselor and all of us are. Often too many, when they are announced to get help, it's on the mountain. So I'm saying that a new strategy I'm developing and seeing it more beneficial is that often one party is not willing for you to engage a third party. And often, and often they are the ones, often, not always, the ones who are often the main issue makers. So what I'm saying that if it's a lightweight, it's easier than when you wait for it to become heavy. That's why I'm saying that meaningful discourse must be had. But often some people will never, though I don't encourage people to use the word never,
So
will hardly respond. So I'm saying that if you have to get third party help, seek it at the molehill stage. Because
I guess where Amos is
I
going,
think
those guys.
I haven't finished.
That is where we all come from.
Mickey, I haven't finished. You didn't allow me to finish. I was going to, you see, I came from one part.
I will allow you to finish.
The second part was that where one party is seeking the help, I was going to add to the approach.
Right.
I have just brought in a resource on how to save your marriage alone. Oftentimes, the impression is created as though it takes the two to make the marriage work. I know countless marriages where one is making it work. Now, how do we start an advocacy on how to save the marriage alone?
Yeah.
Because there are couples I have supported, which I don't have the other party.
Yeah. And sometimes the other party is unwilling.
It's just not interested.
Yeah.
So, how do we help those critical numbers of people not to also give up? Because some of them have gotten to a place of weariness.
Yeah, exactly.
So my caution is a general caution out there that if you want to get third party, first start with making sure the two of you are aligned. Where that is impractical or impossible, then you must get the help for you, so that you now approach your marital issues differently. Because that's very, very important. You can save your marriage alone.
Yeah.
I've seen many. And we need to encourage more people to do that.
I sought for a man.
A man.
Stand in the
Emma is scripture.
A man.
It is
only
not
Jesus Christ who came.
It is not easy.
So I'm not actually speaking about the molehill. For me, I'm not talking about the molehill. I just left that out. I was just putting a general caution.
I was bringing that out because, you see, increasingly, it's becoming the narrative, the avoidance approach. The person says, I'm not ready, I don't want to. And then it keeps going on to then.
So you go around it.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying.
You can't go through it. You go around it. You go around it with one person standing in.
So that's what I'm saying. The easy way out.
Let me make my substantive.
Let me that then come.
Let me make
the same church or something point. And just come. Oh, see that.
Mickey.
This yesterday we are having misunderstanding. I'm saying that I'm not saying it's
where you've not consulted is very unfair.
No, yeah, what I'm saying. It's not that you are going to do it always so.
Right.
But sometimes, see, you have to use varied approaches. Anyway, you go on.
Let's also underscore that third party help is not necessarily getting counseling. Some are talking to their friends. They are talking to colleagues in the office. They are chatting with siblings.
Right.
They are talking to their parents. So third party is not necessarily talking to a professional or a competent individual necessarily. My caution is a general caution. I have situations where one has left a denomination to another denomination. Others have moved to the same denomination, a different branch. Because they were hauled into a church leader space which they were not told.
Not comfortable with.
No, they were not even told that was going to happen.
Right.
It's like ambushment.
Yeah.
Who wants to be ambushed?
Anyway, we'll have time for that. We'll have a whole conversation.
So I think that the caution is to the general, not to the specific. Now the other thing I want to talk about is marital expectations. Look, there are all kinds of theories around it. Some say not having expectations is good, because you never get disappointed. Who said so? Because
everybody has an expectation, no matter what.
You may not verbalize it, you may not structure it, because some are structured, others are not.
Yeah. So that's why it's necessary for the person to.
Some are formalized, some are informal.
Some are so formal. Some people you have to even write a note to him, a whole letter.
You have 45 seconds.
Oh, then I can't make any sense of the rest. I'll just leave
So
it.
do the last one, then you end.
Well, I think that, one of the things I tell would-be couples is this: prepare with your marriage, having a storm in mind. Look, any life built without a storm in mind is a disaster waiting to happen. Go and read Gordon McDowell's book, A Life That God Blesses. You set a sail without paying attention to the winds and the storms on the sea, you are going to be a disaster. You know, too many are building their marriages for the public applause and the praise of the people. Don't build your marriage waiting for somebody to applaud you. I know Mickey says applaudissez. That's for us. Don't take it into your marriage. Waiting for some people to applaud you and say, these are the wonderful couple. These are the great people. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. Right. Build your marriage with storms in mind, with turbulence out there, because turbulence and storms in life are inevitable. Some of it is health, some of it is work, some of it is all kinds of things. Some of it is unintended outcomes. Yeah. Enti me pamocho utiemia. And from a bonny bow. Good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people.
That's true. Changes.
Yes. That's true. So I want to plead with everybody. Every designed material, equipment, a vehicle we have, there's a troubleshooting aspect. Why did the manufacturer include troubleshooting? And so in your toolbox for marriage, get troubleshooting resources.
Get a fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher. The whole narrative of fire for fire must be thrown out of the window, because too many couples are going to marriage with fire for fire as a theory.
What could some of those tools be?
Tools, for instance, personal commitment is a tool. I am in this, Mama Dora. If you came to marry.
Forgiveness is a tool.
Yeah. Forgiveness is a tool. The issue of you talk about trust.
Yes.
I mean, Steve Covey's Speed of Trust is one of the books I always talk about. Yeah. Because it is Steve Covey who made me understand why I buy my watch, why I buy the watch.
Yeah. Because he built unspoken trust. Yes. The chair you sit there, when we came to do it, examine the chair, we just sat on, we trust the chair.
It's trust. You know, that toolbox of trust. But Lisa Tekers will say, 100% trust means 100% responsibility.
Yes.
I can't trust you when you are negligent and irresponsible.
Yeah.
You got to show responsibility. Yeah. I mean, especially those recovering from the shocks
that they found,
that they have discovered something. You suddenly saw a message. You suddenly heard that there was a child. Look, the person cannot just get over it overnight.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Give them space and time to heal.
Yeah.
No. And I'll recommend again Lisa Tekers' book, Forgiving What You Cannot Forget.
Yeah.
If you know her story, I met her pastor in Rwanda. And that's where I ordered all her resources. I mean, she's an amazing woman. She runs the women's group, Proverbs 31 Ministries. And I would recommend to every wife out there who may be going through some difficulty. She went through a real shock of her life. But she had to spend over 10,000 hours studying on the subject of forgiveness. And then she wrote that simple book, Forgiving What You Cannot Forget. And sometimes people say, I forgive, but I can't forget. But who says you should forget?
No, that. But how can you forget?
Because people say forgive and forget.
How can you forget?
How
can you forget something that has happened? You see, forgiveness is when the stink of the effect is lost on you. That's what it is. And that takes time for some. It takes
time for it to fade.
Some is easier. All these things is cycles.
Spent 1,000 hours. Sorry,
it was so many things wrapped in one. Some people, like sanguines, they forgive easily because they are light people. Melancholics can't because they are deep people. So all those things are factors.
But even for the sanguines,
the way the thing will have,
it still comes up.
The way the thing will wrap up on everybody, even if the same thing, is different. And so that's why we must treat everybody in their uniqueness. Anyway, our time is up.
So finally, watch your decisions. Tone down your demands. And then be resolved in your determination. These three things.
Awesome.
Watch your decisions, tone down your demands, but be resolved in your determination. Awesome. Because these three make a world of difference.
Awesome. So let me just, can you do 30 seconds for me? Okay, and I think you've spoken enough, so it's okay. Let me just do, this one, because Leadership Farm is going to have a camp on the 26th of July to the 1st of August. And can you hear me on this one? Says, dear parents, what if this vacation could do more than entertain your child? What if your pre-teen or teen could learn leadership, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, confidence, team, and problem solving all in one exciting camp experience? Introducing Leadership Farm Summer Camp 2026, christened the Teen CEO Edition. Leadership Farm is a transformational camp designed to help pre-teens and teens think like leaders, innovators, and future CEOs. Campers will engage in business stimulation, money games, leadership challenges, creative projects, team competitions, networking, and lots of fun. No phones, no distractions, just growth, learning, friendship, and unforgettable experiences. Leadership Farm is where confidence is built, ideas are born, and future leaders are shaped. Limited spaces available. To secure your spot, call 059 804 003. Again, 059 804 3003. Or visit leadafrique.org. Leadership Farm Camp 2026 Teen CEO Edition. Don't just spend the vacation, invest it. So the number to call is 059 804 3003, and then you can get connected to be part of the Leadership Farm. That is going to happen on the 26th of July to the 1st of August. Papa Amos, I know you have some also very good things coming up. Please tell us about it.
Well, I mean, yes. we just finished our Leadership, and Legacy Camp. Amazing experience for the girls. And there's a request to do another one, but we can only make room for a weekend edition. We'll be announcing the date shortly, to be in the month of August, just before they go to school. But we have the boys camp coming up, the Brave Boys Boot Camp, and it is this year we're having two cohorts. The first cohort is from the 29th of July to the 2nd of August, and we have some amazing resource persons coming. We're going to have Ebenezer Amankwa Minka. He's going to deal with the issues of money and spirituality. We have James Addison, who is one of the foremost voices on emotional intelligence on our continent, a Ghanaian for that matter. He's going to be there. Then we'll have Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur, who I understand was here. Yes, he's going to talk to the boys on managing masculine anger. Amazing conversation. And then we have Pastor Hannah Abraham-Sapir, who works with a lot of teens. She's a great author. In fact, she's launching a book today at the African Regent Hotel.
Nice.
Amazing woman who loves young people. And she's going to deal with the issue of sexuality together with Hope Spring, bringing Reach for Life resource, which we use in our camps. And so parents who want to sign their boys should reach out to us on 020 936 9199. 020 936 9199. If you want to sign your ward, please do so. The second cohort is from the 5th to the 9th of August. That's also for boys. Please do not call us. I'm on air now. You can call. Just send a WhatsApp and then I will send you. It's focused on boys. We want to, the 3BC is for Brave Boys. And our slogan is Brave Heart, Bold Habits.
Awesome. Somebody saying, can come says, good morning, Farm Life. At least 2 books have been mentioned. Can I please get the topics and the writers? Thank you for the insightful discussion.
No, this was mentioned before I even talked about books. It was Papa Sil.
I think I talked about Paul Mante's book on multiple streams of income.
Okay.
So it's Paul Mante, Multiple Streams of Income.
Okay.
I don't know whether I mentioned another one. He actually has a set of 5 books.
Yeah,
the
5
last
books.
time he brought on that.
Yes,
so.
Yes.
And once you reach out to him, or when you Google,
so
wasn't John Maxwell thing that you mentioned?
John Maxwell
was just a quote.
Yes.
Yes.
John Maxwell has a lot of books.
Yeah, he has a
from
lot of
growth
books.
to leadership to whatever.
Yeah.
So if it's a Paul Mante, please get to us next week, and then we'll see Paul Mante. We'll see if we can get some here, and maybe you can come and pick it up. If of course, but it's not free.
Otherwise, they're in the bookshops.
Yes. Does he have them in the bookshop? I don't know where
you can go to EcoBank EDC. You will get it.
No, but he had some there. Okay.
Fine. His PA is there.
Anyway, okay. Or else then we'll put out the number hopefully next week so you can get it. So I've been in this. So let me do this quickly. You can get a copy of Becoming an Achiever in the Marketplace by Fitzgerald Odonkor at the front desk of Channel 1 TV or at the front desk of Harvest Chapel International Tehillah Temple. And then let's do this.
Hey, today is farm lawyer Ernesto Usuaboje's birthday.
I saw Ernest yesterday. Today is his birthday.
Today is
I saw Ernest yesterday. I said he has to join him.
Ernest is a big man.
Both Ernest and his wife are my very good friends.
Yeah, both pharmacists. Yesterday they came for the funeral.
Yeah, his wife was the pharmacist and chaperone at the girls' camp.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
She's been with me since 1993.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Ernest.
Yes.
Congratulations, Ernest. You are an awesome
Amazing
young man.
Yes.
Now become a full-grown man.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best on this very occasion of your life. And on behalf of Grace and the wonderful children, we say God bless you for the investment you're making and the selfless service you render to humanity. God bless you.
Yeah,
God
God
bless
bless
you.
We had ourselves to that.
From the Creative Couples Conclave platform also, we celebrate you. We'll soon be sharing some posts on that page. God bless.
Great. So, thank you for your time. I've been in the studio with Marie-Rose Saki, Sylvester Segba, and Amos Kevinanan, and we've discussed changes in the marriage and family. Please stay tuned for the big issue which is up next, and let's all be learners. No matter who you are or how far you've come, there's still some more to do and to know. So have an open mind. Don't have the growth mindset and not the fixed mindset. Be a learner. Engage sincerely, empathetically, and positively, and learn to manage the nuances of developmental change and situational change, and be minded of the fact that there are both positive and negative dimensions which we need to consider as well, and to manage them well so we can get good outcomes. My name is Michael Mensah. We have been heavily produced technically and executively by Daniel Squashy. See you on the rebound, and do have a wonderful weekend. Big ups and cheers to you. We're out of here. Bye.